am going to share with you guys the difference between a craving, overeating, and the urge to binge. Knowing the difference is going to be so important so that you know when to give in and when not to give in. And I get asked this question all the time, like, I never know if I should have the cookie. I don't know if I should have the apple pie. I don't know if I should have dessert because I don't know if I'm going to binge. I don't know if this is actually a craving. I don't know if I just did some overeating. So I really want to explain the difference between a craving, overeating, and binge eating so that you have more awareness, okay? So I'm super excited. Hello to everyone popping on. This is gonna be so good. Like literally, this is freaking gold. So if you are here, like listen up, okay? So the first thing is a craving. How many of you guys experience cravings? I'm sure all of you guys experience cravings, right? So cravings are when you are wanting something specific. So it's not just very broad of like, oh, I kind of feel like something sweet. Cravings are very, very, very specific. Hey, Elise. Hello, you guys. So cravings. I want a chocolate chip cookie. I want a ice cream sandwich. I am craving pizza. It is very specific, right? I want a bowl of pasta. I want fettuccine. Like it is so specific. Drop in the chat box, cravings equals specific. Write that in the chat box, cravings equals specific. If you are craving something like very specific, it's not just broad, that is how you know you're having a craving. So at the end of a meal, right? Let's say you've just finished your meal and you're like, I kind of want something. And maybe you just automatically go into your cupboards without even thinking. That might just be a habit. A craving is specific. So if you can ask yourself, what am I wanting right now? And you can't answer that question, it's probably just a habit. If you can answer the question of like, yeah, I want the chocolate chip cookie. I want the ice cream sandwich. That is so specific. That is how you know it is a craving. And cravings are not bad, you guys. What is bad is fearing your cravings. People have this belief that cravings are the scary monster. Cravings are so bad because maybe you have been told by fitness coaches or fitness influencers, you shouldn't give in to your cravings. Cravings are bad. You should just be drinking water. Just choose a healthier alternative. But how many of you guys have ever craved a cookie and then you had some grapes and you're like, yeah, that just didn't do it, right? And don't get me wrong, like I am somebody who loves my fruit and I love my cookies. Like I like them both. But if I am craving a cookie, there is no way in heckin' Bob I am going to be satisfied with some grapes, even though I love my grapes. They're good, but it's not what I'm looking for because cravings are specific. Do you guys understand? I hope this is blowing your mind. Elise with the blowing her mind emoji. I'm like, I love this. Because cravings are specific, swaps are not going to be beneficial. This is where you could be craving the chocolate chip cookie, and because you want to quote unquote try to do good, you go and you grab the grapes and you eat the grapes and it might taste good, but you're like, yeah, this isn't what I want. So then what do after going and finishing the grapes? You go and you end up having the cookie anyways because cravings are specific. You want the chocolate chip cookie, so then you just end up having the chocolate chip cookie anyways. Is this making sense? Give me some hearts if this is making sense. Give me some hearts if this is making sense. When you fear your cravings and you try to have healthier substitutions, you don't actually honor that craving. You don't actually honor that craving. And what ends up happening is cravings just don't go away. People think if I just muster up the courage to not give in to my cravings, they're just going to go away. I'm going to forget about them. Cravings do not go away, you guys. Cravings build. Cravings intensify. And they turn into binge urges. If you do not think this is blowing your mind right now, I don't know what will. But this is literally gold. This is so, so, so important. Cravings do not go away. Cravings intensify. And so the question, how do you lose weight if you accept all your cravings? Well, here's the thing. At the beginning of your journey, if you are binging, that's not going to help you lose weight. I'm just going to shoot it straight with you guys. If you are binging on thousands of calories, that's not going to help you lose weight. And it's ironic because people are so scared to give into their cravings, and they're so scared to have one little piece of chocolate during the day, but then literally they end up binging on an entire chocolate bar in the evening, and that's not going to help lose weight. So think of honoring your cravings like I am preventing an urge. Think of honoring your cravings like I am preventing a binge later on. And when it comes to cravings at the beginning, like, yes, it might be normal at the beginning because you still see these foods as bad. You still have an unhealthy relationship with these foods, that it is normal at the beginning to maybe have a little bit too many sweets. Maybe it's normal to, want chocolate all the time, but it's not going to be that way forever. The reason why cravings are usually strong at the beginning is because I say this to my clients. It's like you're in like a food jail, right? And it's like you have all of these food rules and you've been like locked up in this jail where you're like spinach and egg whites and broccoli all day. And then now it's like you're actually allowed to have the chocolate, or you're allowed to have, the ice cream or whatever it is. So it's like, I'm allowed to have this food. And it's like you kind of crave it a little bit more. But that doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. When you heal your relationship with these foods and when you actually start having them more often, like if you were to have, chocolate more regularly, you're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, I could have the chocolate today. I can have the chocolate tomorrow. I can have it the next day. Do I really feel like it? Do I really want it? This will happen for you. This will happen for you. But if you keep trying to avoid the cravings, I gotta avoid, I can't honor my cravings, they just turn to binges. And in terms of eating the food that you crave mindfully, well, here is the thing. We have to heal our relationship with those foods, because the moment that you're eating ice cream, but you're judging yourself and you're like, this is a bad food. This is where people get into the all or nothing mentality. I'm doing bad. I'm eating something off limits. I might as well binge because I'm already doing something bad. So this is where we also got to heal the relationship with those foods and not seeing it as a bad food, not seeing it as I'm doing anything wrong. But like I said, it's like, how can you start seeing your cravings as I'm actually doing something good for myself because I'm preventing an urge? And if the main goal is for you guys to stop your binges, you guys all should be prioritizing this. You all should be prioritizing honoring your cravings because you don't want those urges. How many of you guys want to stop those nagging urges? How many of you guys want to stop those urges? Drop a yes below, drop a me below. How many of you guys want to stop those urges? And if you could literally save yourself thousands of calories later on, is that not worth it? Is that not worth it? Is it scary to start honoring your cravings when these foods have been off limits for so long? Yes. I remember being so scared, but I also started recognizing when I actually allowed myself to have the chocolate, when I actually allowed myself to have whatever it is I was craving, I literally had less binges, and I'm like, hallelujah, this is what I want. Okay. Now, something else when it comes to cravings don't always have to be for sweets. Cravings can be, I'm craving a smoothie. Cravings can be, I'm craving a red apple. Cravings can be, I want some cucumbers with hummus. So cravings aren't just like, oh, I'm craving chocolate, I'm craving brownies. Cravings, remember we said cravings equals specific. Cravings, you're wanting something specific. So it doesn't have to be, I want the chocolate and I want the pumpkin pie and I want the ice cream. It could literally be like, I woke up this morning and I'm craving a banana peanut butter smoothie. Or I'm craving a salad for lunch. Or I'm craving pasta. Right? This is so important because again, you want to honor those cravings, right? So it doesn't have to just be what you see as quote unquote bad foods of like chocolate and ice cream and things like that. It can also just be like, I wake up in the morning and I feel like eggs and bacon. That's also a craving. Okay? And you don't want to be dismissing those because then they catch up to you as the day goes on, okay? So that is cravings. Cravings are specific. Remind that in your brain, like cravings are specific. If you are sitting on the couch and you're like, I want something, what do I want? But you can't really tell what you want, it's probably not a craving. If you just finished your lunch and you're wanting something sweet, but like you don't really know and you're just like in the cupboards, like looking for more food, you're probably not experiencing a craving, okay? It might just be a habit. So that is cravings. They're specific and they're not the enemy. Cravings are not the enemy. Stick that on a sticky note or put this on the background of your phone. Cravings are not the enemy, okay? Now, that was cravings. Now we're going to move on to overeating. Overeating is more common than I think more people think. And overeating at certain times is quite normal. So let me explain what I mean by this, okay? Hi, Rosie. Good to see you. So overeating, let's say you're at a social event, right? You're at a birthday party. You're at a get-together. It is almost inevitable that you're probably going to eat more than normal, right? So let's say you go to a friend's house, right? And it's like you all bring something to eat for dinner and then maybe you have dessert and fruit. Do you maybe have appetizers, a dinner, fruit, and dessert every single night when you're home? Probably not, right? You guys work, you got a family, like you can't just every single night have appetizer, main meal, fruit, dinner, dessert. Like it's not like that. So if you go out on a Saturday night, you probably, if you go out to a friend's house or whatever, maybe you have a little bit more, right? If you go on vacation, there are certain foods that you maybe don't normally have, so maybe you enjoy it a little bit more, okay? Overeating is when you, let's say, just finish dinner and you know you're full. You know you are full. But the food just looks good or the food just sounds good and you're like, I know I'm not hungry. Like you have awareness, okay? You're checked into your body. You have awareness of like, I'm not really, like I'm full, but I just want more food. This is overeating. I am full, but I just want more food. So you've just finished your dinner and you are full. You are full. But you're like, I remember those like ice cream sandwiches I had in the freezer. Like, I just want some. I'm not hungry. Maybe I'm not even craving it. I just want it. Like, it's just like you're full, but it's like, it just looks good or it just sounds good. Okay. Or it's like maybe you have lasagna for dinner. And again, you know that you're full, but it's like, maybe like it's like the texture or just the flavor. Like it just tastes good. I just want more. But there's awareness. It's not like you're mentally checked out. You're like, I know I'm full. I know I probably don't need that second piece, but it just sounds good. Do you want to be doing this every single night? No. Should you work through your overeating? Heck yes. But like I said, at birthday parties or social events, it's normal to overeat, right? With the holidays coming up, but this should not be an everyday occurrence. When I was struggling with my relationship with food, every single meal that I ate, I literally would overeat. I would leave my meals feeling like I needed to roll over to get to the freaking couch because I was so freaking full. I was overeating at almost every single one of my meals. That is not okay. But with overeating, you have awareness, but you're not doing it in secret. So it could also be like maybe you are, watching TV at night with your partner and you guys are having a snack and you're like, I'm not hungry, and you're just like overeating. But there's awareness. It's not like you're out of body experience. It's not like you're like hiding food or doing it in secret. It's like you have awareness. You're like, yeah, I'm full right now. I don't need this ice cream sandwich. I don't need the second piece of lasagna, but I just want it. This is overeating. This is overeating. Okay? So we talked about cravings. We talked about overeating. And now I want to talk to you guys about binging. How many of you guys can relate to the binges? How many of you guys know you have an urge? You feel impulsive around food. It feels like you're going through this out of body experience where you can't stop eating. This is binge eating. When you don't have control. You don't even have awareness. Sometimes it's like you just mentally check out. You enter like this black hole. And before you know it, you come back, you snap back to reality, and you're like, I am so physically sick right now. Like, what the heck just happened? This is binge eating. It's typically done in secret when you're home alone and out of body experience. So maybe you start off with one piece of chocolate, and then you start to feel impulsive, and you start thinking about the rest of the chocolate bars in your cabinet or in your cupboard. And then you start getting impulsive, right? It's like you start feeling anxious. Maybe your heart rate increases. It's like this rush of anxiety, like this surge of energy. And then you go into the cupboards and you're like, I'm just going to have one more. Just one more piece of chocolate. Then you have one more piece of chocolate. And then you're like, oh, screw it. I'm just going to go back. And then literally you go and grab the entire box of chocolate. And then you're going through that out of body experience. So you feel like you just can't stop. With the overeating, it's very like it's awareness of like, I am full right now, but I'm going to keep on going. I am full right now. I don't need that second piece of lasagna, but I'm just going to do it because it sounds good and it tastes good. With the binges, you don't have any control. It's like somebody is taking over your body and doing things with food that do not feel like you. This is binge eating, out of body experience. It's how you feel. The rush of anxiety, the surge of energy. Not everyone experiences the urge to binge. So this is it. Everybody in the world experiences cravings. Even me, people who have a good relationship with food, cravings are normal. Everybody experiences cravings. And if somebody says, I don't have cravings, bull freaking shit. Everybody has cravings, okay? And cravings are not bad. Cravings aren't bad. When this was probably 10 years ago, and I was like obsessed with like healthy food. Like I was like scared of olive oil. I was scared of peanut butter. I was scared of butter and like fats, and like I was just scared. I was just scared to eat. And I had this unhealthy obsession with healthy foods. And I remember telling people, I'm like, I don't have cravings for sweets. I just love eating healthy. And I did enjoy eating healthy, and I still to this day enjoy eating healthy, but I had cravings. I was just terrified of honoring them. I was so scared to go out and grab ice cream. I was so scared to have anything with like oil in it. Like I was terrified. I literally was like so obsessed with like healthy food to a point where it was like unhealthy. And I was like, I don't have cravings. When people would like, we would all go out for ice cream and people would be like, Lorna, why aren't you having ice cream? I'm like, I actually don't want it. But like, I did want it. I was just like scared to eat the ice cream. Right. And it's like now, sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes I do feel like it. But if I don't want it, it's not out of a restriction. It's like, I actually don't feel like it. Okay. So everybody experiences cravings. Overeating happens typically at like social events, birthday parties, get-togethers, holidays, but you shouldn't be doing overeating every single day. That's a problem. And then binges, not everyone experiences binging. A lot more people experience overeating, but the binging is because you have that urge. So the people who binge, out-of-body experience, blackout, like can't stop eating. Once you eat something sweet, it's like this snowball effect, like I can't stop eating. That is binge eating. Do you guys see the difference? Cravings are specific. Okay, right now I'm eating an ice cream. I was craving it and now I'm having it. Amazing. Without feeling guilty. Yay! So good. I love it. Woohoo! Aurora, I love it. So good. Okay, so cravings are specific. Overeating happens typically at like social events, but you have more awareness. You're not like hiding it. You're not like doing it in secret. And then binges, out-of-body experience, you do it in secret. Then it comes with like the guilt, the shame, the judgment. Got to do better tomorrow. Got to compensate. Got to restrict. You're thinking about food all day long. Like that is binge eating. So this is how you know the difference. Am I having a craving? Am I overeating or am I binging? Let me know which ones can you relate with. Maybe you're like, I am doing all of them. Maybe you're like, I do a lot of overeating. Or maybe you're like, girlfriend, I am doing the binging. Yep, I know I'm doing the binging. There's literally no right or wrong answer. The point of this is just to bring awareness. Am I having a craving during the day? Am I overeating or am I binging? This, I just wanted to bring awareness because having awareness over what it is you are experiencing can change everything for you. Sometimes people think I'm having an urge, but they're actually just wanting an ice cream sandwich. And it's like, you go have the ice cream sandwich and then you could literally prevent a binge. But if you don't know the difference, it's like you could be thinking that you're having an urge to binge when you're just having a craving, right? So this is why, you guys, it is so important to understand these three. Am I having a craving, overeating, or am I binging? So many people think cravings are bad, so then they dismiss their cravings and then they end up binging. So listen to this as many times as you need. Save this, like cherish this video. This video was literally gold. I literally gave you guys gold in this video. So you make sure that you are understanding these concepts and go and implement. You guys know, you hear me all the time. Don't just hear what I say. That's not going to transform your life. That's not going to help you stop binge eating. The people who actually conquer binge eating are the people that learn the information and they go and implement. The next time they have a craving, although it might be scary, they're like, I'm going to honor it. Right? The next time they have like maybe this urge to binge and they're like, I know that this is an urge to binge. Like I probably shouldn't give in. Like I don't want to keep wiring this habit into my brain. Right? So it's like the action piece. We can have the information, we can have the awareness, but like, let's go take action. Who is committed to taking action? Drop a yes below, drop a me below, give me some hearts. Who is here ready to take action? This is what will transform your relationship with food. Taking action and implementing what you learned is what's going to actually help you conquer binge eating. So this is the little mini training on cravings, overeating, and binge eating. I hope you guys found this helpful. Go and implement. You guys know I'm here. If you need anything else, if you want to dive deeper with me and you want more specific support, I am here for you. So have the best freaking day ever, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.